Hi, my name is Erika Phillips, and I'm going to be doing a first grade science lesson. So, good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon.
All right. Who can raise their hand and tell me something about these? Nicholas?
They're plants.
They are plants. You're exactly right. And we actually are going to be learning more about plants. Okay? So, in order to show what we already know about plants, we're going to do a KWL chart. K is for what you know about plants, W is for what you want to know, and L is for what you learn at the end of the lesson. So, who can raise their hand and tell me something that they know about plants? David?
They need water.
They need water. Thirsty, thirsty plants. All right, what else do we know about plants? Nicholas?
They smell good.
They do, they smell good, right? Especially those flowers. All right, looking good so far. What else do we know? What else do we know about plants? David?
They need sun.
They need sun, right? They need that sun, they need that water. We'll have to figure out what they need those for though, right? Any other ideas about what we know already about plants? Nicholas?
You can eat them.
Yep, there's some plants that you can eat. Okay. So the reason why we're talking about what we know about plants is because we're actually going to go into a little more detail about them. So the standard that we're going to cover is SC1 L14.2, and the idea of this is to identify major parts of plants, including the stem, roots, leaves, and flowers. Our objective is what we want to get out of this lesson. So our objective is, given a word bank, students will identify major parts of plants with 75% accuracy or 3 out of 4 components correct. So pretty much what that means, guys, is that at the end of the lesson, you guys are going to get this sheet, and it's going to test your brains on what you learned about the different parts of plants. So at the bottom, there's a word bank, and it's going to have 4 or 5 words. There's actually 5 because I put a bonus question for you guys. And you're going to have to match the word to where it goes on the picture. Okay? So you have a word bank, and you're just going to match it to the different part of the plant that it goes to. All right, so we'll come back to this. So, back to our KWL chart. So we put what we know. You guys actually know a lot of stuff about plants. Now we need to figure out the W, and that's for what you want to know. So who has a question that they would like to figure out for plants? David?
What do they eat?
What do they eat? Very good. That's an awesome question. Anyone else? Nicholas?
How are they made?
How are they made? Ooh, nice higher order thinking skills. Any other questions that they want to know? What do you guys want to know about plants?
What are the parts?
What are the... Wow, you must have been paying attention to our objective, right? What are the parts of plants? Is that one? That one is one we're definitely going to cover for sure, right? So, now that we figured out what we want to know, we're going to go into more detail about those 4 major parts of plants. So, I'm going to go over the names and what they mean. So right now, I just want you guys to have those listening ears on, okay? And then once we go over this, you guys are going to be able to draw, all right? So, the first part, let's show it. It's this nice, colorful part on the top. Does anyone have a guess on what this part is called?
The flower.
Oh my gosh, Nicholas, you were really paying attention. It is the flower. Look at the flower. It's super colorful, right? It's a bit different than this stuff on the bottom. And these colorful pieces on here are the petals. And the flower actually has a very important job. It's this part of the plant. Flowers are needed to make seeds so other flowers can be made. Remember, those seeds are those little tiny things. They're usually like circle or oval shape, and when they have the right stuff, they can grow. And they definitely could grow into a plant like this, right? So we're gonna say that together. So say, flowers make and hold seeds.
Flowers make and hold seeds.
Wow, you guys are doing awesome listening today. Holy cow. So that's the flower part. So that's the first part. All right, we're going to go on to the next part. Everyone see this long part? It's usually green. This is called the stem. Everyone say stem.
Stem.
All right. So the stem, it supports or holds up the flower, right? Because if it didn't have this, then this might just be laying on the ground. It wouldn't be able to go up, up, up. So it supports up the flower. It brings water up from the roots to the plant. So we're going to talk about roots in a second, but usually they're down here. And it brings that water straight up to this flower part, right? Does anyone know something that they've used that brings water from down here to up here? Think about maybe when you're drinking water. What's something that you could use to suck the water up? Anyone have any ideas? Nicholas?
Your mouth.
You definitely have to use your mouth, right? Raise your hand if you guys have ever used a straw. Yes, because think about that, right? It's long, right? It usually has this circular shape, and you have your water in the cup, and you put the straw in, and you just suck up the water. It goes into your mouth. Just like this plant has a stem, and it sucks up the water to the top part. In this case, it's a flower. So the stem brings the water up to the plant, okay? Now we have these green things. Does anyone have an idea of what these green things are called? We usually see a lot of them on trees and other kinds of plants. Nicholas? Leaves. That is the other part. So first we had flower, then we had stem, and now we have leaves. Leaves have a very important job. The leaves make food for the plant. So we're going to end up answering that what you wanted to know question, right? They make food for the plant. They lay flat on the sides because they're gonna soak up the sunlight. So, think about that. Us, like people, do we eat sunlight? No, right? We don't eat sunlight. We usually eat like cheeseburgers or pizza or chicken nuggets or something like that, right? Or maybe we eat other kinds of plants like some salad or something like that. In this case, this plant, it actually eats through the sunlight. And that process is called photosynthesis. It's a pretty big word, right? So, the leaves make food for the plant. They lay flat on the sides of the stem, which is this long part, and it gets its energy from the light of the sun. So you have the sun out, and those flat leaves, they soak up the light, and that brings the food up to the plant. Okay? Can you guys do that? Can you guys act like you have your leaves just laying nice out and flat? And then we have the sun shining down, and it's going into your leaves, and now you're getting that delicious energy, right? Wow, David, you're a pretty awesome plant over there. All right, that was awesome acting, guys. Last but not least, we have the last part. We have roots. So for this one actually doesn't have any, but we're gonna pretend. The roots would hang out on the bottom, and they're kind of like spaghetti shaped, where they're long and thin, and they're underneath the ground. And the roots, this is their job. They grow into the soil, so they're gonna be down, 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 and they take up the minerals and water. Minerals, that's another big word. Minerals are kind of like vitamins. Does anyone take vitamins here? You do? What kind? Do you know what kind?
Flintstone.
You take the Flintstone vitamins, that's right. Yeah, you take the kids' vitamins. You need those to help your body grow, just like the plant needs the minerals to help it grow. So the roots, they grow into the soil, and they hold the plant in place. If they didn't have anything to hold it, it would be super wobbly. But they have those nice thick roots at the bottom, and it holds it straight up and tall, and that stem helps hold it up too, right? They hold the plant in place down into the ground, and then they soak up that water and minerals. So you have the plant at the bottom, the roots, it takes in all those minerals and the water, and it sucks it up through the stem. The leaves bring in the food and energy as well, and it just keeps going up, up, up to that flower. And what does the flower do? Holds the seeds. Thank you, Nicholas. All right, so I told you first we'd go over definitions, and now we're going to draw. So you guys can go ahead and take out your markers. Here you go, David. All right, so first we're going to draw the flower. You can draw it like this if If you know what a flower looks like already, you're more than welcome to draw your own idea. So we're gonna have the spot for the seeds. Remember, those seeds are usually kind of tiny, depending on what kind of plant. And then we have these big colorful petals. Your plant can have little petals if you want. So there's my flower. Make sure you guys have seeds on your flower, please. Because that's an important job for the flower. It holds the seeds. Alright, and then hold up your boards when you're done so I know that everyone is completed. That's a beautiful flower, David. I see those seeds. Wow, you guys are great artists. Okay, so we did flower. Now we're going to go to the stem. Remember, the stem is super long. It's kind of like that straw for the plant. It holds it up and it brings that water up to the flower. Same kind of deal. When you're done, just hold it up. Awesome. What are those called?
Stems.
All right, now we have the leaves. A plant can have a lot of leaves. A plant can maybe have one leaf. It depends on what kind. But it needs those to grow. And some leaves look different than others, as long as they're flat so they can absorb that sunlight. Okay. Let's see. Those are awesome leaves. You guys are great artists. All right. And then last but not least, we need those roots. So remember, roots are going to go under the dirt. So make your dirt. And they're going to be kind of like these really thin spaghetti lines, kind of. They're very small, but there's usually a lot of them. And they're kind of like little straws too. And they soak up the water out of the ground and those minerals. And for that bonus word that I was going to ask you guys, there's actually root hairs. And those are even tinier for the root hairs. And those are just teeny tiny parts of the roots. And they really suck up that water and they bring it to the main root. Just remember, roots are under the dirt and they suck up the water. And those guys are called root hairs. Wow, you guys are awesome artists. Okay. So when you're done, remember to close the caps on your markers so they don't dry out. And then we are going to do a partner activity. Testing your brains on the 4 parts of plants. Okay, so pretty much when I say a part of a plant, you're going to hold up the word for it, okay? So you know what? Let's go ahead and do this one. All right. So, what is this part of the plant? What are these? Very good. I want you to check with the partner to see if you got the same answer. If not, we'll talk about why. Wow, you guys match. So that is the correct answer. So what is this part?
Leaves.
Leaves. We actually had 2 of them on this picture. And the leaves soak up the sun. Yeah, what is it?
Eat sun.
They eat sun, right? They soak up the sun so that it can give the plant energy to help them eat. For that big word, photosynthesis, right? All right, so you can go ahead and take that one out of your pile because we're not going to do that one again. All right, who can hold up the answer for this one? What part of the plant is this? I saw you looking at his. So what is it?
The flower.
Flower. What does a flower do?
Holds the seed.
Oh my gosh, you guys are doing awesome. Paying attention. Flower holds the seeds, makes the seeds. Okay. What are these called? Remember, check with the partner. If your answers are different, we will go over. Oh, you guys had the same answer.